Hello, my dear students of class 12th. Now I am going to start Act 5, Scene 1. In Act 5, Scene 1, you will study that Prospero decides to forgive his enemies. He decided that he will forgive. He will not take revenge if they are repentant. If they will think, they will repent on their bad deeds which they have done with Prospero, he will forgive. He reminds Alonso of the cruel manner in which the latter treated him and Miranda. He reminds Alonso that you did very bad with me as well as my daughter Miranda. He accuses Sebastian of his share in the intrigue. Intrigue means to carry out a secret plan intended to harm him. He accuses Sebastian of his share in the intrigue. He calls Antonio an unnatural brother who, for the sake of his ambition, expelled natural affection from his heart. He pays a tribute to Gonzalo for his sympathetic nature. He then reveals his true identity. Prospero now also relents, softens towards Caliban, Stefano, and Trinculo. He became very soft. It is decided that all should sail for Naples the next morning, from where, after attending the marriage of Ferdinand and Miranda, Prospero proposes to go to his native Milan, the dukedom of which has now been restored to him. In this scene you will study all. Now scene 1, before Prospero's cell. Enter Prospero in his magic robes and Ariel. Prospero says, ask rather to Ariel that now does my project gather to a head. My charms crack not, my spirits obey, and time goes upright with his carriage. How is the day? Prospero asks Ariel. Now my plan is about to reach the climax. My magic does not fail. My spirits obey my orders, and time marches on smoothly to produce the final results. What time it is? What is the time? Ariel says, on the 6th hour, at which time, my lord, you said our work should cease. It is nearly 6 o'clock. It is about to 6 o'clock. The hour, the time, the hour at which you said our work would be completed. Prospero says, I did say so. When first I raised the tempest, say, my spirit, how fared the kings and his followers. Prospero says, I said so. I said so. When I first raised the tempest. But tell me, Ariel, how the king and his followers are getting on. Ariel says, confined together in the same fashion as you gave in charge, just as you left them. All prisoners, sir, in the lion grove which weather fends your cell. They are confined, they are imprisoned together. They are imprisoned together. In the same way as you had asked me to do. All the prisoners are in the lion groves that protect your cell. They cannot budge till your release. They cannot budge. They cannot move until you release them. Until you release them, they cannot move. The king, his brother, and yours avoid all three distracted, and the remainder mourning over them, brimful of sorrow and dismay. He says, the king Alonso, his brother, and your brother, all three of them are getting insane, getting disorder of mind. Their minds are disturbed. The rest are mourning. The rest are lamenting their condition, mourning their condition. But he says, but chiefly him that you termed, sir, the good old Lord Gonzalo, his tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds. He says, but mainly the one, sir, whom you called the good old Lord Gonzalo, is in a pathetic condition. His tears run down from his beard like isosceles. Isosceles means a spear's shape of eyes to extend a spear's. Isosceles. A spear shape of eyes is in a pathetic condition. His tears run down from his beard like isosceles. Icicles, you can say. Icicles. From the protruding edge of roof of thatched cottages. His tears run down from his beard like icicles from the protruding, means to extend from edge of a roof of thatched cottages. Your charm so strongly works them that if you not beheld them, your affections would become tender. He says your magic charms work. Your magic charms work on them powerfully, that if you were to see them now, you would be moved with sympathy for them. The conditions are very pathetic. Prospero says, dost thou think so, Spirit? Do you think so, Spirit? Ariel says, mine would, sir, were I human. I would, sir, if I were human. But I am not a human being. Prospero says, and my shall heart thou which art but ere a touch, feeling of their affections, and shall not myself, one of the kind that relish all as sharply passions as they, be kindlier moved than thou art. He says, well, my sympathies will be aroused. My sympathy will be aroused. You who are made of air have sympathies with their pains. Shall not I, a human like them, with as sensitive a feeling as they have, be more moved by tenderness than you? He says, though with their high wrongs I am struck to the quick, I feel deeply hurt due to the injustice they have done to me. Yet now Yet now, yet with my nobler reasons, against my fury do I take part. I am guided more by reason than anger. He says, I feel deeply hurt due to the injustice they have done to me, yet now I am guided more by reason than anger. The rare action is in virtue than in vengeance. They being penitent, the sole drift of my purpose doth extend, not a flown further. He says, forgiveness is better. Very good dialogue is given. Forgiveness is better than taking revenge. Since they now regret their evil deeds, I am not inclined to be angry with them any more. Go, he says, go, release them, Ariel. My charm I will break their senses, I will restore, and they shall be themselves. He orders Ariel, go and release them, Ariel. I will end the power of my magic, which binds them, and restore their sanity. Sanity means here reasonable and rational behavior, so that they may be their normal selves, so that they become normal. Ariel says, I will fetch them, sir. I will fetch them here, sir. He exits. Prospero says, yea, waves of hills, brooks, standing lakes, and groves, and yet they on the sands with printless foot do chase the ebbing Neptune, and do fly him when he comes back. He says, you are spirit of hills, rivers, lakes, and groves, you spirit who stand on the sand with your feet, but leaves no footprints on it. He says, you chase the ebbing means receding tides of the sea, and run away from them when they return. He says, when it comes to you demi puppets that by moonshine do the green sour ringlets make, whereof the you not bites, and you whose pastime is to make midnight mushrooms that rejoice to hear the solemn curfew, by whose aid weak masters though ye be I have bedimmed. He says, you spirit whose pastime, he says, you are tiny creatures who makes green rings on the grass when you dance in a circle under the moonlight. On such grass the sheep refuse to graze. You spirit whose pastime is to grow mushrooms at midnight, and who take delight in hearing the sacred sounds of the evening bell. Though you may be weak and small, it is with your help that I have managed to darken the sun at noon. The noontide sun called for the mutinous winds, and twixt the green sea and the azured world set a roaring war. He says, I caught the storms and created war between the green sea and the blue rainbow in the sky. He says, I set roaring war, to the dread rattling thunder have I given fire, and rifted Jove's stout oak with his own bolt. The strong-based promontory have I made shake, and by the spurs plucked up the pine and cedar. Gravest at my command have waked their sleepers up and let them forth by me so potent art. He says, I made lightning as frightening as the rattling thunder, and I have split open the robust oak tree, strong oak tree with Jupiter's thunderbolt. The tree is very sacred to him. I have made the firm-rooted rocks shake with sudden fear, and have uprooted the pine and the cedar trees. He says, at my orders, graves have opened. He says, graves at my command have waked their sleepers, opened it and led them forth by my potent art. He says, at my orders, graves have opened, waking the ghost inside and permitting them to come out, all through my powerful magic. But now he says, but this rough magic I here abjure, and when I have required some heavenly music, which even now I do to work mine and end upon their senses that this airy charm is for, I will break my staff, bury it certain fathoms in the earth, and deeper than did ever plumber sound I will drone my book. He says, but these powers I now give up, when I have asked you for some heavenly music, which even now I do ask, to influence the minds of those for whom this charm is intended. Once this is achieved, I will break my rod, break my magic wand, and bury it many fathoms deep in the earth. Fathom is the from which we can measure the depth. Bury it many fathoms deep in the earth. I will sink my book of magic deeper than any sailor's plumb line has ever sounded the depth of the sea. Prospero said that he will entirely change himself if they will, all the sinners will repent their bad deeds. Solemn music. Now, in my next video, you will learn when the Ariel enters in the scene, what happens. Thank you, students. Thank you.